Good evening, friends. Prime Minister Modi is on official tour of Israel, where he attended Israeli Parliament, that is known as Knesset, and he addressed the Knesset, where uh, he provided uh, his historical quote that you can't defend anything by saying that we are supporting a cause and then you will go and kill a civilian of a particular country. Tour of Prime Minister Modi is significant as it in the terms that India is one of the leading partner of Israel after the after a war between Israel and Gaza erupted. Though India has always maintained a balanced approach between uh, cause of Palestine and Israel, and managed to have deal with the both things simultaneously. Uh, but after 2014, when Modi comes at the helm of the New Delhi, the defense ties between defense technology and agriculture ties between Israel and India has grown to manifold. Prime Minister Modi has earlier visited Israel in 2017 when he was the first Indian Prime Minister to do so, and in response to that, Bibi Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, visited the India, where and thus after that the ties between both countries goes manifold. As for today, India have more than 4 billion trade in defense technology and agriculture sector with Israel, and apart from this, in 2025 there was a bilateral investment treaty happening in between those in both between both countries that that became one of the keynotes uh, of of the growing partnership between both nations. Israel calls India many times its most trusted partner. If we go by historical terms, then years of active independence, India did not had any diplomatic ties with Israel, and but uh, but in the aftermath of Cold War and uh, uh, com- uh, compelled to do reforms, particularly economical reforms in its country, India became forced to set a new agenda uh, toward Israeli Israeli ties, and in 1992, a new chapter of diplomatic ties between both nations began. Today, it grows to a level that India is one of the biggest trading partner of Israel, and their trade goes beyond $4 billion. When India was fighting a war in Kargil with Pakistan, Israeli support comes as a game changer in that war. Uh, India got laser guided bombs, uh, mortars, 60 mortars, and UAV search and Heron drones. That was at an extent age at that time, but these technologies become quite a game changer in that war, and from that the defense tie of between Israel and India goes to many grown to manifold. Israel is one of the largest arms supplier to India, and and its arm supplies are going to next level. Uh, Heron drones are particularly one of the significant defense export of Israel to India. Uh, both nations shared empathy, empathy because uh, the both nations had been victim of a certain kind of terror from many decades, and this and up and that has grown in recent year to a very uh, robust uh, robust counter-terror partnership, because both are frequently doing counter-terrorism practices, and these things uh, these things are both bolstering the defense ties and diplomatic relations uh, between the both nations. Palestine, yeah, many critics say that India's growing proximity with Israel is at the cost of its support to the Palestinian cause, but but this is not the case, because India has significantly managed to support civilian population in Palestine by providing aids and other supports. Apart from that, India has remained many a time remained neutral between Israeli conflict with Palestine. But in recent year, when on 7th October, when Hamas fighters perpetrated one of the biggest civilian attack on Israeli soil, India has tilted toward has seemed to be tilted toward Israel, because uh, that was a quite a big terrorist attack, and India did not support any sort of terrorist activity. But in the aftermath of that, when Israel attacked Gaza, India has very cautious approach, and it did not uh, it did not did anything that suggests us that India was tilted toward Israel. And but apart from these things, in the trade and geopolitical uh, geopolitical geopolitical sup- uh, support and trade relations between both nations are 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 going to be quite significant, and one of the biggest story of the coming decade. Uh, and in the case of in the case of Gaza war, India many a time decided to remain neutral, and uh, in when voting for certain cause were held in United Nations, but 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 India need Israel, and Israel need India in coming days, uh, in, in 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 the field of trade, defense, and agriculture. Thank you. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you uh, like to support me, and then just click on the like button and subscribe this channel. It would mean a lot to me, and give me strength and encouragement to create more videos like this, so that we can communicate on certain topics regularly. Thank you. Thanks a lot.